Welcome to part 2 of Let's Play Teleglitch Time War Edition. And yeah, a lot of stuff has happened here. The place is overgrown as all get out, and probably full of nasty hostiles. Handle with care. Isn't that the general rule of thumb for everything? Here we find a revolver, and some more explosives, and a medikit 25. Clever mathematical solutions. I wonder what they involve. Knowing my luck, it's probably involving some degree of chaos theory. The revolver deals... It deals a good amount of damage, but it's very inaccurate, especially at long range. And it does have quite decent armor penetration, although the exact values escape me for the moment. So let's just say it's moderately effective against armored targets and highly effective against any unarmored targets. Speaking of targets, where are all the enemies at? I have no idea, but I believe we're about to answer that question. Ah, here we go. Come on, I dare you to get back up. Just let me find a quiet spot. That's not exactly what I had in mind. Ah, that's better. Okay, I mentioned in the last episode that this episode we would look at the crafting system, and that's exactly what we'll do now. You press C at any time to bring up your crafting, and because we're a fair way through the game, our options for crafting have expanded quite a significant bit. By default, in the first level, the only two items you'll ever be crafting are RDX 500 and nail bombs. However, we now have hardware and... oh dear. Why did you have to do this to me, game? I was going to explain about crafting, but now I can explain about medikits. Medikits come in two forms, medikit 50 and medikit 25. Unlike the canned meat, these will not heal, but instead heal up to the specified amount that is their value, and no more. And of course... is that the last of them? Doesn't sound like it. Okay, now that we've got our quiet moments back, as I was explaining about crafting, we have a lot more options. We can upgrade our pistol to be fully automatic, which will increase the clip size by 5 as well as making it an automatic weapon. We can make ourselves a stimulant. This will increase your speed by 50% while the stimulant is activated, but it makes it a lot harder to be able to maneuver around. I'll explain what I mean in a few episodes' time. Anyway, nail ammo is what you get once you've made yourself a nail gun for the first time, and you get 50 rounds of nail ammo whenever you craft it, and in reality the nail gun isn't actually too bad. It deals 30 damage and ignores 30% of any armor that the enemy might be wearing, but it suffers from fall-off damage, which penalty for every unit of distance. And that will be a friend of mine completely ignoring the fact that I told him not to interrupt me while I was making the Let's Play episode, and shout out to Vortai. Thanks, Vortai. You've made the Let's Play much better. Nah, he's a good person. And yes, activating any computer to look at the lore on it does actually pause the game. Now, some people might be inclined, well, to say, but okay, you have a second 9mm pistol now, why won't you make the nail gun? I won't make it for a few reasons. I'll explain it in a bit. My first major reason is that Teleglitch is as much a roguelike as it is a game about trying to make the most of what little resources you do have. And the nail gun both is and isn't a good investment of resources. Like, it's a good stopgap measure if you're trying to conserve ammunition for all of your more valuable weapons. However, there are other ways to do that. You just go on a knife frenzy, for example. And then you've saved yourself a handful of 9mm rounds that you can use against another hostile later on. And because you're using a virtually useless ammo type as opposed to one of your more valuable ammo types, it can really extend the life of, say, your shotgun shells, or later on something that can really bring the pain to certain enemies. But instead of using a nail gun to do that, I'm instead going to save all my RDX 250 for something else entirely. Now, veterans of Teleglitch, especially Daimler Edition, may know about a weapon called the cannon, and that is the weapon I'm going to be prioritizing for this Let's Play. And, put simply, the nail gun is going to become essentially worthless in the late game. And that brings me on to another thing about the cannon. The cannon is most effective when you have spent an entire playthrough from start to end making cannon rounds at every spare opportunity. Cannon rounds only require RDX 250 and a single empty can. and for it you get 4 cannon rounds every single time you craft it. Unfortunately, this can become very expensive very quickly, because for about the same price you might instead decide to make a plate, and 2 plates make a single piece of armor, which gives you 50 armor points and therefore a degree of damage reduction. In this secret, find a meat trap. The meat trap is a fantastic item. Much better stopgap than a nail gun, but it is just as situational. And fortunately I didn't make the gap wide enough. I hear an anomaly, but oh. Yeah, sometimes this situation will occur in Teleglitch, where you basically have 2 intersecting rooms, and as a result of one intersecting room occupying the space where the secret would be, there's a couple of medikits there that I can't access at all because they're just simply stuck there, in the wall. The wall is very solid. Secret areas are not included in the whole check for overlap that the game conducts, and what we've just seen is a perfect demonstration of that. So even though I've found the secret, it's not going to do me any good at all. Now, there is a door I missed, so I'm going to backtrack to that door. It's not so much a door as it is a section I missed. So earlier I reflected upon my decision not to make the nail gun. So you might then be wondering, well, Mordecai, you're carrying around 2 9mm pistols, how's this going to work? One of the 9mm pistols is going to be required in order to make the cannon, and the other one I am going to upgrade into an auto pistol. Now, I can't upgrade the auto pistol further because I need a second piece of hardware in order to upgrade it to its final form. Now, something to keep in mind about 9mm rounds is that standard 9mm pistol and the auto pistol only ignore 20% of armor, but the final form of the pistol ignores a total of 35% instead. And it is much more accurate than the auto pistol. It has the advantage of fully automatic fire. However, I'm going to need an additional piece of hardware in order to be able to do that upgrade. But it is well worth the investment. However, because of my decision not to make the nail gun, eventually, probably by the time we hit the mid-game stages of the game, I'm going to run into a constant problem of not having any ammo. And that is the end of part 2 of Let's Play Teleglitch Die More Edition. Join me in the next episode for a surprise. Well, it's going to be a surprise. And we'll also take a look into the items list while we're at it.